So let's now think of how a country the size of Estonia can reasonably try to do all of that. So the study of that has been going on for about a year and a half. And to present some of the first findings, we have Christian Krips here. And yes, that'll be the sort of a reality check for smaller European nations.
Hello, I'm Christian Krips, security engineer at Cybernetica, and I'm going to speak about the challenges of building conformity assessment ecosystem in a small country like Estonia. And my talk is based on the results of a state-funded study done in 2024. Which aimed to map the capabilities that we have in Estonia in that field and the potential to develop this ecosystem so that it could be decided whether and how such an ecosystem could be built in Estonia. When thinking about the need for such an ecosystem, then it's quite clear that we need to see whether the cryptographic products are complying with the requirements, whether they do what they are intended to do. But certification is something specific, like it was mentioned in the previous talks. And it used to be only required in very specific areas and under very specific regulations. And now, as we saw from the previous talks, as EU is introducing new regulations, the need or demand for certification will increase. And there will be also a demand for evaluations. And maybe this means that that there is also a need to establish evaluation labs. And maybe this could also be done in a country like Estonia. So this is one side of the view for this issue. The other side is that the state also needs to assess how cryptography is implemented in governmental systems. And more specifically, Estonian National Communication Security Authority needs to decide whether some cryptographic products can be approved for use. So these are the two main aspects when considering the need to build this ecosystem. When looking at these, the goal of building the ecosystem, then we quite soon see that there are quite many challenges and quite many complexities. And I thought that maybe this image would illustrate that. So the image shows normative references among ISO standards that describe conformity assessment. And it's a simplified image, which only lists some of these ISO standards, and it has a reduced number of arrows, otherwise it wouldn't be readable. So it displays the same standards that were just mentioned, the standards that define common criteria, the standards that define FIPS 143, and other conformity assessment standards which describe how to set up a lab, how to test for randomness, and so on and so on. And now, where to get the people that have this knowledge? If you don't have the ecosystem in Estonia, then most likely we don't also have the people who have read these standards and who have experience with working with these standards. So what we did, we mapped the capabilities that we have, the human resources, the number of cryptographers in Estonia, at the number of companies working in the field of cryptography, the requirements from the state institutions, and also the viewpoints of universities. Universities are these organizations which lay the foundation for the industry. If you don't have universities teaching cryptography, if they don't do research in that field, then we don't get the people who would set up this ecosystem. So we started by checking what we have in Estonia. And in general, you would have to have these institutions which are listed on this slide. So to do a conformity assessment, for sure, you would need an evaluation lab. Evaluation body, ITSEF, or yeah, an organization that actually does the evaluation, the security testing for cryptographic software or for a cryptographic module. And the other conformity assessment body that would be needed is a certification body that basically takes the report issued by the lab and then checks the report, and if it's fine, then issues the certificate saying that the product complies with the requirements of the certification scheme. We have neither in Estonia, and we would need to have an accredited lab and an accredited certification body. Then we also would have to have a national accreditation body. That one we have in Estonia. It's fulfilled by the Estonian Accreditation Center, but it doesn't have the capability to work in the field of cryptography. We also have our NCCA, or National Cybersecurity Certification Authority, which is designated by law, and this role is fulfilled by the Consumer Protection and Technical Regulatory Authority, but this organization also doesn't actually have the cryptographic capability, although they are assigned this role by the legislation. And then what we have the approval authority, Estonian National Communication Security Authority, who has to approve certain cryptographic products. When looking at the human resources, then we figured out that there are fewer than 30 cryptographers in Estonia who have published scientific papers about cryptography, and less than 10 of them work with post-quantum cryptography. And many of them work in the private sector. And cryptography is mainly taught in the universities of University of Tartu and then Tallinn University of Technology. To get an overview of the state of cryptography in Estonia, we did actually about 30 interviews with different stakeholders, with companies working in this field, with the state institutions, and also with universities. And now I'll just give a brief summary of the findings that we got. In general, everyone said that we have too few cryptographers and security engineers in Estonia, and they are already working either in universities or in private companies. So it is quite difficult to build new capabilities as we would just have to somehow find new cryptographers, and they are already occupied with the things that they are currently doing. We also cannot directly employ students because they don't have the necessary experience, and the experience comes with the practice. So they have to work usually in the private sector. They have to implement something, they maybe have to break something, and once they get the experience, they could maybe be recruited to work in this conformity assessment ecosystem. But to do that, we also would have to have many companies working in the field of cryptography, which we actually do not have. And what the solution is, some of the companies in Estonia have started to recruit cryptographers from abroad. Because if you want to expand the business, then, well, you need to get the people, and there are two options. Either you recruit from abroad, or you train new cryptographers, and that we are also doing. The universities are increasing the number of students who major in cryptography, but that's a slow process, and it takes years to get new experienced people. Now, when we spoke with researchers and cryptographers at two main universities in Estonia, then both of them gave similar answers, that they have two main problems when teaching cryptography. And the first problem stems from the educational system, that the educational system doesn't provide the universities with students that have sufficient skills in math. And you really need the math skills to study cryptography and to do research in cryptography. So if you don't have that, then you can't go and work in this field. And that's a real problem which has to be faced. And then during the study, we also point out some directions that the state could go to solve these issues. And the second aspect that the universities brought out is that as there are quite few students that enroll in the introductory crypto courses, then they don't have a sufficient amount of students who take the more advanced courses, because if you only take the intro courses, then, well, you won't be the researcher. Maybe you can be an engineer, but if you want to do research or if you want to do more complex stuff, then you have to also take the more advanced crypto courses. And how to solve that? You have to somehow motivate the students to major in cryptography, to take more crypto courses. And then there also has to be a demand from the labor market. And when we interviewed the companies, then many of them said that what they need from the universities is that the universities should offer more courses that give practical experience to the students about applied cryptography, engineering. So these things could be taken into account. Now, about the opinions of the interviewees about the conformity assessment and whether this should be established in Estonia or not. In general, quite many of the interviewees were skeptical about this idea, as we just don't have the people. And then the other problem is that as we don't have too many companies working in the field of cryptography and building crypto modules, then where would we get the market demand for such services? So to build conformity assessment bodies, you need customers who want their products to be evaluated, certified, and if you don't have the local demand, then, well, we would have to export these services and compete on the global market. And what else the interviewers said was that they only consider certification of their products if it is mandated by law or if there is a direct demand by the customers. Certification is so expensive and time-consuming that basically no one is willing to do that if there is no direct necessity. And when interviewing state institutions, then it was also mentioned that some institutions need to assess the security and conformity of products processing classified information. And then when building that capability, then it is reasonable to build a joint capability so that evaluation methodology would cover both civil and defense sectors. Of the companies that we interviewed, only 3 companies had practical experience with certification, but some others had considered doing common criteria certification, but hadn't moved forward due to the cost or complexity of the process. The companies and the people who had experience with common criteria told that the first thing that the company should do when considering certification is to define a security target. The same thing that was mentioned earlier in the morning. So you first have to define the security target, write down what you want to achieve, what are the limitations, what are the assumptions, and then once you have defined that, you can move forward. And then you have to design your product in a way that it meets the security target and that it is certifiable, which means that you have to write the proper documentation. Otherwise, certification or common criteria certification is just not possible. And some companies also said that if you do it in the wrong order, that you first build the product and then try to certify it later on, then you will just spend much more money and you will need 1 additional year at least to get the product certified, if it is even possible. And yeah, it was also mentioned during the interviews that if your product uses modern cryptography, then it is quite challenging to certify the product, well, for the reasons that were mentioned earlier. There are just no suitable protection profiles available for modern cryptography. Now, as probably the evaluation lab would be one of the most important components of the conformity assessment ecosystem, we did a small cost-benefit analysis for establishing such an institution. And the main cost is for setting up the lab, acquiring hardware, for testing equipment, crypto modules, and then also setting up the facilities. And the operational costs are mostly tied to workforce. So you have to employ cryptographers, security engineers, quality assurance specialists, and that's quite expensive. And when considering the income, well, as we don't have local demand, then we would have to export the services. And just some numbers for simple common criteria evaluations. Well, the simplest ones may cost tens of thousands of euros, and for example, EAL level 4 evaluation can cost hundreds of thousands of euros for just evaluation alone. And there are extra costs for development and certification and so on. And the main risks for establishing an evaluation lab is that there is not enough qualified workforce and there is not enough demand, local demand for these services. And And if there is not enough demand for the services, then the question is that can the evaluation lab maintain the qualification of the specialists that it employs. So if the specialists get bored, and then we also got one example of such a case in one European country by one of the interviews, then they just change jobs and they quit. And if such a specialist quits in a small country like Estonia, then how do you get a replacement? You have to start from scratch by training the specialists, and that's a non-trivial thing to do. We thought what are the ways forward, and we proposed three main approaches for developing conformity assessment capability in Estonia. And the first approach is to build a full conformity assessment ecosystem. So an evaluation lab, certification body, which both have to be accredited. For an evaluation lab to get accredited, it first has to show that it can do its work. So probably there have to be some pro bono projects at first. And then also to get experience with hardware evaluation, you would need some customers that provide their crypto modules for evaluation. So that would be probably a challenge. And what else we would need? We would need to acquire cryptographic competence for the national accreditation body and also for our NCCA. And in addition, we would need to create an evaluation methodology for Estonia, and it might also be needed to revise the legislation. Now, the second approach is somewhat more limited. Only the evaluation lab would be established, and the certification and accreditation services would be imported from other EU countries. And our NCCA would acquire the relevant cryptographic competence. And also the methodology for evaluation would be developed, and yeah, maybe also legislation would need to be adopted. And the third approach would be to create an informal evaluation methodology, an efficient methodology, which would at first focus on software only, and also include guidelines for developers and leave hardware evaluation out of scope. And in this case, as we would not have an evaluation lab, so this would have to be procured from other EU states or from universities or from private companies. Where's the last slide? There should be one last slide. Oh, here. And conclusion is that it is probably not feasible to build the full conformity assessment ecosystem in Estonia, just due to our size and due to the existing cryptographic ecosystem that we have. But the second approach to build a partial conformity assessment ecosystem or the non-formal evaluation methodology could be doable. If the second approach would be chosen, then what we would need is the market demand. So we would need the industry to procure these services. Otherwise, the lab would not be economically sustainable. And if this methodology is developed, then it should be a unified methodology that covers both the products that process unclassified and classified information, because it's just inefficient to build two different methodologies. And what I would like to point out in the end is that all of this can only be done if we have a strong educational system. So if we don't have the educational system, if our universities don't have the capability to train more cryptographers, then, well, it's not sustainable, and the ecosystem would not be possible. So, thank you, and questions?
Thank you, Christian, for that talk. And in the first row, Sais has a question.
Do you have any estimation about the size of local demand? How many certifications per year?
Let's say maybe one certification in a few years. So there is not much demand in practice. We have 3 companies who have done this over the years. So the demand is quite small.
Luis?
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned challenges in the educational system, namely lack of motivation. Are there concrete ideas of activities or incentives to build motivation for students, like youngsters?
Yes, of course. So there are different funding programs to attract students into majoring in cryptography, but it's difficult because everyone wants to study AI. And machine learning, and it used to be blockchain, but yeah, now it's AI. So there are programs, but it's difficult to attract the students.
I will have some hope in my closing words. Please, in the front row, gentlemen.
If we take limited human resource as a norm for a small country, so does AI replace in cryptography specialists to some extent, or just can support those who exist already?
I don't think that at the moment AI can resolve this problem. Maybe it can review some documents, but it can only assist. It cannot replace the cryptographer.
You heard Vacek's talk in the morning. One more question. Petr.
Thank you very much for the talk. You mentioned the small countries. Do you think small countries can join forces? You mentioned the, let's say, outsourcing or taking the evolution lab from other country, but we don't have it either. So can we just create a collaborative one?
That's a good idea to collaborate in this field because, well, we have to find the solution, and that's one possibility. Yes.
Yeah, there was one more. Someone raised a hand. No? 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 No. Awesome. Working together with Czechia, great idea.